You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, for holding this important hearing. I always want to preface everything we say. We want to get to the same goal, a reduction in global carbon emissions. I want to get there in a smart way without destroying our economy. And I think the solutions we offer are generally a faster way to get there, to be perfectly honest. I want to actually follow up on what Mr. Armstrong was talking about. Mr. Skelly, you authored a report on 22 transmission projects that are ready to go and even met with senior members of the administration to discuss building them. However, projects are on the shovel-ready list, have been on the list for a decade plus. How many of the 22 projects are active and have experienced more than 5 years of delay?
I would say, yeah, well, the list is a new list, so they haven't been on the same list, but they've been underway for at least a decade on average. Okay. Yeah. And there's a few reasons why they haven't moved forward. One is permitting delays. The other is failures in the cost allocation process that we talked about a little while ago. Mm-hmm. And that's, in other words, a failure to consider all the benefits of transmission. Sure. And the other is a failure of the system to basically reward some of the merchant developers for the additional services that they provide. So
one of the things we see, of course, is weaponization of the court system. I mean, talking about Cardinal Hickory Creek, maybe I'll move to Miss Aspey for this since y'all are in charge of this one. Why is that facing delays? Is it eminent domain, permitting, financing, political will, or is it mired in lawsuits?
Yeah, it's facing delay based on pending litigation, which is essentially an appeal. Parties who are opposed to the project are appealing the process by which it went through for several years.
And do you think other transmission projects are going to face similar litigation? And that would be a barrier to rolling out new transmission, especially well over 120% additional new transmission, which is what our fellows at Princeton seem to believe would be necessary to meet our goals.
Yeah, there certainly is a history of many major transmission projects being delayed through litigation. And obviously, as we've talked about before, I mean, time is of the essence if we want to realize the benefits, both in terms of integrating renewables, the reliability, the resiliency benefits. And so time is of the essence, and these projects in and of themselves, even when everything goes as planned and well, can take anywhere from 7 to 10 years to realize.
Which is far too long. And like this is the broader point I'm trying to make here. Step 2 is paying for this stuff and building it. Step 1 is actually allowing ourselves to build it. If we don't address the permitting issues in this country, which are far more stringent than most developed nations, we're never going to get to the part where we build 120% more transmission lines in America. We're never going to get to that point. There's no point in allocating around $3 trillion to do this if it's just going to be weaponized by the courts and weaponized by environmental groups. I would ask my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to consider this. Your clean energy goals are directly in conflict with the environmental groups as well, because they're the ones who sue and settle. The law has to be changed. There's a lot of examples of this. In 2011, President Obama created the Rapid Response Team for Transmission to speed the permitting of 5 Western transmission line projects. Only one is under construction so far. Only one. The law needs to be changed. A proposed 300-mile electricity line to deliver renewable electricity from Idaho to Oregon commenced permitting in 2010. If federal agencies can't find a way forward on more than 30 federal and 50 state and local permitting actions and another 100 water crossing approvals. Then I want to get to another broader point, which is this even the right approach to try and build massive amounts and take up massive amounts of lands for wind and solar in places where the sun shines and in places where the wind blows, build out massive amounts of infrastructure and transmission lines to get that to where we need it? Is that really even the right approach? Maybe we should rethink this. We can build, for that amount of money, countless nuclear plants. A nuclear plant, by the way, operates on 1,000 acres versus the same power of a solar farm that operates on 100,000 acres. And the nuclear plant doesn't rely on weather. Guys, I want us to rethink how we approach the problem that we all want to solve.
Thank you, Rep. Crenshaw.